Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a review here for another film I recently saw for the first time in probably, almost 20 years. I think I saw this in theaters now that I think about it, with my poor dad, all that time ago. He hated this shit. I remember the look on his face when I asked him after the movie if he liked it. You could tell that he hated this shit, and I understand why. Now on rewatch, I don't think this is as good as I remember it being back in the day, but not having seen it in so long and not buying a digital or a DVD or a VHS copy of it all those years ago tells me everything I needed to know about this film. I watched it, and I think it's mostly fine. That movie is Robots from 2005. Has an all-star cast in here that really don't get to do as much as I think they should have been able to do. Basically, the star of the film, and this blue character here, is Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. I think Revenge of the Sith had either just come out or was about to in the next year or so. So he was big from the Star Wars prequels right there. But then you have Halle Berry in this, you have Greg Kinnear, Mel Brooks is in this for a very small role, maybe 10 minutes of the movie. I really liked him, he really shines here. Amanda Bynes, she's the yellow robot here. That was kind of wild to hear her voice in here again, which was, I miss her. I miss her. She's like a friend I had in elementary school I haven't seen in 20 years. I miss her a lot. Drew Carey is in this a little bit. And then you got Robin Williams playing the kind of sidekick character Fender. He even kind of looks like Robin Williams a little bit. Robin Williams, what can you say? He's amazing. And to be fair, Ewan McGregor's doing an American accent here, and you would never tell it was him. If you didn't know, you would know. I didn't know as a kid that was Ewan McGregor in the movie. I saw a little bit of this in a dentist office one time, too, like probably 10 years after it came out. And I kept thinking, like, oh, I remember that. And I watched like the 10 minutes, and I immediately put my face in my phone. So anyway, getting to Robots, what is this movie about? Well, we follow the Ewan McGregor robot. What is his name again? Rodney Copperbottom. Rodney is a guy who aspires to be something more than what his dad was. His dad, at his job in kind of like a diner, he was basically just a dishwasher where he literally, everybody in the world are robots. There's no humans or anything. When you have babies, you have to build them out of parts that are sent to your door in the mail. It's hilarious. There's a lot of adult humor in here, which was really clever sometimes and really stupid and too much for a kid's movie other times. But the themes and everything I really like in the movie. Essentially, Rodney wants to be more than his dad, and he wants to be an inventor to make his dad's job easier, to make the world a better place. And one of the people that he used to see on TV, on commercials all the time, was the Mel Brooks character, who basically is just a giant bowling ball with a smaller bowling ball for a head. But he's a robot, and he runs a huge company, basically a place that all inventors go to try to get their start in the world. And all these years later, after seeing commercial after commercial, Mel Brooks apparently has stepped out. So when Rodney goes there to meet him, his hero's not even there. And when he does meet his hero's really not what he remembered him being on the commercials, or what he hoped the man would be like. And while he's on his travels, to leave home, to leave his parents behind, and to try to have a better future to help his father out and his mom too, but especially his dad, when his dad gets really sick and may die sometime, which was kind of dark to have in this movie, because they don't shy away from what could be going on there. He goes on to this place, goes on this journey, and eventually encounters these misfits, kind of like in a rundown New York City robot version of the world that has Robin Williams living there, Fender. They have a great scene introduction to him. I really like the Fender character. I think Robin Williams does a great job with what he's given in the script. And that's reflected amongst everybody. All of these other people that you're seeing in the cast here are pretty much friends to Robin Williams, and they're fine for what the script gives them to do. Now, the bad guys are really where they shine in this movie. There's some great bad guys in here. One guy that's kind of taken over the Mel Brooks company. He's a scumbag. His mom is a scumbag. And I don't mean that as just a joking insult. I mean, like, we meet his mom in the movie, and she's like a slave trader weirdo creep. And they even kidnap robots, like homeless robots, off the street and do things to them. Yeah, it's a kid's movie. It has some dark shit that could be happening right now with your government. Very weird, very creepy, odd movie. But the themes here about following your dreams, they're very well done. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not in love with robots as a movie, but those things to have an inspiring message to kids, it's kind of nice. I kind of like it. We don't get movies like this all these years later, almost 20 years down the road. It has a decent score for it. It's nothing super special, but I liked it. I thought overall Robots had a lot to offer to kids, more so than adults, but the adult humor shit is just too much. It doesn't belong in here. It's a little bit sidetracking, to be honest. The movie says on IMDb that it's an hour and 31 minutes, by the way. It feels way longer than that. Robots feels like it's a 2-hour long movie. I don't know why, but it does. It kind of drags ass, just saying. But overall, I don't hate it. I think the world that they built out of all these robots and parts and bolts, the security robots, all of that stuff, it was kind of cool. It was kind of a weird steampunky world trapped in like the 1950s or 60s with some weird humor, you know? But I liked it. I thought the animation was good, very well done for that. I like the character designs. I think Amanda Bynes and Robin Williams' characters look too much like them, to be honest with you. But it was cute. It had its moments. The building your baby out of parts was fucking hilarious. And weird, but hilarious at the same time. Very strange movie. If you haven't seen it before and you want kind of a family kids movie to watch with a little bit more of adult humor in it, this is not Toy Story, but it's kind of fun. It kind of scratches that itch just a little bit, even though it drags sometimes, so it may or may not be for you. If I had to rate Robots on a 5-star basis, I'd probably give it like probably 3 out of 5 stars, I'll say. It's very, very okay. It's kind of generic, kind of forgettable. Like, think of all the shit that you've seen in recent years, like the dinosaur or whatever from Disney or Pixar or whoever. The Good Dinosaur, is that what it was called? I never saw it, but I think that's the title of that movie. Think of something like that that was totally forgettable. That's basically what Robots was. Even if it's good, sorta, it's forgettable. But this was fine. I recommend it to the right people, and the people who like this kind of thing. Might be fine for you if you like Pixar stuff, even though this is, what, is it DreamWorks, 20th Century? I don't know who put this out, but it was something generic like that. It was not Pixar, so yeah. Anyway, have you seen it? What do you think about it? Did you see it back in the day? Do you remember all the weird toys and games they had for this? That was at a time where any company that had the money to do that, they would dump toys for shit like this, and games too of it, for every console, every handheld that was around at the time, for shitty movies like this that were just okay. This movie's not shitty, but it's just fine. But it doesn't deserve all the toys and toys and toys it had at the time. I think there were like Burger Kings and McDonald's making toys for Happy Meals and shit out of this, if I remember correctly. What a weird thing to make all of these pieces of toys and plastic for. Very weird. So, it's a strange time, the 90s and the 2000s, man. They don't do that anymore. Anyway, have you seen Robots? What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, especially if you're my age. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you again, and goodbye.